In this video, I'm going to talk about the different third-party applications that interface with FreshBooks, and I'm also going to highlight 5 of them that I think are very useful. So to access this part of FreshBooks, we'll need to go to the My Account section up here at the top right, and then we're going to click on FreshBooks API. And from here, we want to click on this third-party software link. So as I mentioned in the last video, we could program an application to connect with FreshBooks API manually, or we could take a look at this third-party software that already has that API programmed in. So you'll notice that there are a ton of applications that interface with FreshBooks, and we could sort by category over here on the right for the application that we're looking for. But if we just scroll on this initial screen here, we're going to see some of the highlighted applications, and I'm just going to touch upon a few of the most useful ones. So as we scroll down here, you can see that FreshBooks does have an app for the iPhone and iPad, which I'm going to talk about later on in this video series. It's a really nice app. But as we scroll down here, we talked about the Basecamp connection earlier in this video series. That is obviously a very powerful connection if you're using Basecamp for your project management. Zendesk, that's if you're using the help desk feature of FreshBooks, but you know what, the help desk feature built into FreshBooks works pretty well. So Zendesk is only if you're basically running a call center that is for technical support or something like that. Down here, if you're using Salesforce, you can connect and make it so that your employees can turn their opportunities directly into invoices from Salesforce. But if you are a Highrise user, Highrise is another software application developed by 37 Signals, the same company that developed Basecamp. There's a pretty good connection between Facebook and Highrise available, although the Basecamp connection still is stronger. There are more features to that connection. As we scroll down through here, as I mentioned earlier in this video series, FreshBooks is not a full-fledged accounting system. It's more of an invoicing system. So if you use another accounting system, it's possible that there is a connection already built between FreshBooks. And if you don't yet use an accounting system and you need one, you've got some options here. I would probably recommend Sage 50, although I believe that is only available for Windows at this point in time. But that is probably the most well-known of these accounting systems. So you can import your invoices directly from FreshBooks into Sage 50 and then combine that with all of your other accounting data to actually have a full-fledged accounting software that your accountant can use. You can pay your taxes with and everything. So that's definitely something to look into. As we go down here, I happen to feel that the expense reporting in FreshBooks is really good, and I don't necessarily recommend using a third-party plugin for expenses because it works pretty well right in FreshBooks itself. As we scroll down here, there is one more I want to talk about, though, and that is the Google connection for Gmail. So if we scroll down, obviously we've got payment gateways. PayPal is built into FreshBooks. We talked about that earlier in this video series. That's probably the most common way to accept online payments through FreshBooks. But as we scroll down here to the Google section, Gmail has a third-party connection built with FreshBooks, and it allows you to log project hours and track invoices directly from Gmail. So this is really useful if you're using Google Apps for Enterprise already, and you want to be able to track your hours right from your email. If you're emailing back and forth with a client and you need to log some hours, you can do it within Gmail without actually having to go over to FreshBooks. And then there's just one more plugin I want to talk about. If we scroll kind of all the way to the bottom here, there's a section for e-commerce. And if you are an e-commerce organization, if you're selling products online, depending on the system you use, there might already be a connection built. If you aren't already using a system, there are a few options here. ZenCart is probably the most popular option that is very simple to use, easy to get set up, and they have a connection with FreshBooks so that if you're selling products online through ZenCart, you can automatically import your sales from ZenCart into invoices into FreshBooks so you can report your invoicing, and then obviously you can add your own expenses. So if you do use ZenCart, I would definitely recommend taking a look at this connection. And there are different software companies that are building connections to the FreshBooks API all the time, so you definitely want to check back here and see if new application connections have been created. But there's definitely a lot of options for you. If you're already using certain systems, you can see if your system is listed, and if you have a certain aspect of your business where you're looking for a piece of software that you need to solve a problem, you might as well take a look at which pieces of software already interface with FreshBooks, because that's just going to make your overall business more seamless.